Good morning. So, yes, it's another cool morning in the hunting blind, and just about ready to pack it in for this morning. Um, Sadly, the deer are on the camera, but they're not showing up when it's legal to hunt them. So, um, just got to be patient with that, but we'll go from there. As I'm in the blind waiting, some of the things that I was actually reading this morning in my devotions that I just wanted to share with you is actually concerning wisdom. And quite often, like we're we always need wisdom for every part of our life. And some of the really cool things that I want you to see, it's a lot easier to acquire wisdom than we really realize. Um, And I want to start with a scripture in James chapter 1, verse 5, going to verse 8. It says, "If you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking, but when you ask him, be sure that your faith is in God alone. Do not waver, for a person with divided loyalty is as unsettled as the wave of the sea that is blown and tossed by the wind. Such people should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Their loyalty is divided between God and the world, and they are unstable in everything they do." So you see, if you need wisdom, you need to ask God, and he will give it to you. But you got to do it with the right heart. And I want you to see something, because you see, a lot of times we say, almost like, oh, we got to use wisdom. But in actuality, we're trying to do things in our own effort. And I want you to see that when we actually use God given wisdom, when he fills us with wisdom, in other words, when we actually do like James 1 says, where we ask God for wisdom and he gives it to us, I want you to see the difference in that wisdom. So let's look in Proverbs chapter 2. And in Proverbs chapter 2, starting in verse 1, it says, "My child, listen to what I say and treasure my commands. Tune your ears to wisdom and concentrate on understanding. Cry out for insight and ask for understanding. Search for them as you would for silver. Seek them like hidden treasures. Then you will understand what it means to fear the Lord, and you will gain knowledge of God. For the Lord grants wisdom. From his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. He grants a treasure of common sense to the honest. He is the shield to those who walk with integrity. He guards the path of the just and protects those who are faithful to him. Then you will understand what is right and just and fair, and you will find the right way to go. For wisdom will enter your heart, and knowledge will fill you with joy. Wise choices will watch over you, and understanding will keep you safe. Wisdom will save you from evil people, from those whose words are twisted. These men turn from the right way to walk down dark paths. They take pleasure in doing wrong, and they enjoy the twisted ways of evil. Their actions are crooked, and their ways are wrong. Wisdom will save you from the immoral woman, from the seductive words of the promiscuous woman. She has abandoned her husband and ignores the covenant she made before God. So, and it, it shows you how key wisdom really is right there. And then I also want to read from Proverbs chapter 8. And in Proverbs chapter 8, it starts off, "Listen, as wisdom calls out, hear as understanding raises her voice. On the hilltop along the road, she takes her stand at the crossroads. By the gates at the entrance to the town, on the road leading in, she cries aloud, I call to you, to all of you. I raise my voice to all the people. You simple people, use good judgment. You foolish people, show some understanding. Listen to me, for I have important things to tell you. Everything I say is right, for I speak the truth, and detest every kind of deception. My advice is wholesome. There is nothing devious or crooked in it. My words are plain to anyone with understanding, clear to those with knowledge. Choose my instruction rather than silver, and knowledge rather than pure gold. For wisdom is far more valuable than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare with her. I, wisdom, live together with good judgment. I know where to discover knowledge and discernment. All who fear the Lord will hate evil. Therefore I hate pride and arrogance, corruption and perverse speech. Common sense and success belong to me. Insight and strength are mine. Because of me, kings reign, and rulers make just decrees. Rulers lead with my help, and nobles make righteous judgments. I love all who love me, and those who search for me search will surely find me. I have riches and honor, as well as enduring wealth and justice. My gifts are better than gold, even the purest gold. My wages better than the sterling silver. I walk in righteousness, in paths of justice. To those who love me inherit wealth. I will fill their treasuries. I will fill their treasuries. The Lord formed me from the beginning. Before he created anything else, I was appointed in ages past, at the very first, before the earth began. I was born before the oceans were created, before the springs bubbled forth with waters, before the mountains were formed, before the hills I was born. Before he made the earth and fields, and the first handfuls of soil, I was there when he established the heavens, when he drew the horizons on the ocean. I was there when he set the clouds above, and when he established springs deep in the earth. I was there when he set the limits of the seas so they would not spread beyond their boundaries. When he marked off the earth's foundations, I was the architect at his side. I was his constant delight, rejoicing always in his presence. And how happy I was with the world he created, how I rejoiced with the human family. And so, my children, listen to me. All who follow my ways are joyful. Listen to my instruction and be wise. Don't ignore it. Joyful are those who listen to me, watching for me daily at my gates, waiting for me outside my home. Whoever finds me finds life and receives favor from the Lord. But those who miss me injure themselves. All who hate me love death. So that was Proverbs chapter 8. And you're like, why are you reading these different things concerning wisdom? We need wisdom, and we need God to sustain us and to guide us in every day. And I want you to see something. There is one man who is the epitome of wisdom. And if those of you know correctly, it's King Solomon. And he asked God for wisdom. God asked him, what do you want? Whatever you want, I will give it to you. And Solomon responded, give me wisdom so that I can govern your people. God was so pleased with wisdom, with his request, that he immediately gave it to him. But Solomon had the gift of wisdom to an unparalleled degree. And I want you to grasp something. A lot of times we just flippantly say, that's wise, or, we gotta use wisdom. But we're not understanding God-given wisdom when it is what it truly is at the core. Because when God gives you and fills you with his gift of wisdom, listen to what is written about Solomon in 1 Kings chapter 4, verse 29 to 34. God gave Solomon very great wisdom and understanding, and knowledge as vast as the sands of the seashores. In fact, his wisdom exceeded that of all the wise men of the East and the wise men of Egypt. He was wiser than anyone else, including Ethan, the Ezrahite, and the sons of Mahol, Heman, Kakol, and Darda. His fame spread through all the surrounding nations. He composed some 3,000 proverbs and wrote 1,005 songs. He could speak with authority about all kinds of plants, from the great cedar of Lebanon to the tiny hyssop that grows from cracks in a wall. He could also speak about animals, birds, small creatures, and fish. The kings from every nation sent their ambassadors to listen to the wisdom of Solomon. Now, it didn't say that Solomon went to school and he learned all of this. because God blessed him with wisdom, Solomon knew all of this. It is God who revealed all these things to him inside. So you see, there's earthly wisdom, which we can acquire through experience and situations. But there's godly wisdom that is unparalleled in every way. And one awesome thing about Solomon, to this day, there is nobody who is as smart or as wise or has the amount of information that Solomon had. And truly, if we desire to be wise, we should be asking God for wisdom. Remember, it said in James chapter 1 that he will not rebuke us when we ask him for it, but he'll be so excited to give it to us. So today, ask God for wisdom, but expect him to truly give you wisdom like what he gave Solomon. And ask and don't doubt. Because you see, in this day and age, wisdom is what's going to get us through. Because along with wisdom comes discernment, understanding, and knowledge. It's going to be the foundational key to get you through so you're not duped by the things around you. The other thing that's awesome with wisdom is with wisdom comes a tremendous blessing. In particular, financial blessing. And God will show you ways to create wealth where everybody else is failing. You will be able to have wealth in abundance so that you'll be able to provide for not only your family, but families and neighbors and everybody around you. So you see, I want to encourage you. Ask God for wisdom, and God will graciously give you that gift. That's Thoughts in the Hunting Blind. Have a great one. Love you lots.